Here's the story of a playboy genius who has gearing up to form some sort of crew. Once a former Russian spy, a god of thunder,
One
fought
fought
in
in
World War II. It's the story of a handsome Star-Lord,
like
the greatest to ever walk the earth by far.
And the
Falcon, a magic doctor, Wakanda forever.
One day all the heroes
Were
were
assembled
to
fight a villain who packed much more than a punch.
Then the
Group
group
was labeled the Avengers. That's the way we all became the Marvel Bunch. The Marvel Bunch. The Marvel Bunch.
That's
The way we became the Marvel Bunch. Hello, brother. That's cool. Who said hello, brother?
Loki.
Really?
To
That's
Thor.
cool.
Yeah.
Who do you have a favorite? Before we get into the introductions and all that, who's your favorite actor? Maybe not character,
Actor?
but your favorite actor in the MCU.
Man, that's tough.
It's tough. Benedict Cumberbatch is awesome.
I love him.
Tom Hiddleston's great.
I think, I'd probably say either Tom Hiddleston, Benedict Cumberbatch, or Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's hard not to say Robert Downey Jr.
Chris Evans. But I think it's just because
You just
of
need like
Captain
half
America.
the Avengers. Yeah.
Well,
Anthony Mackie has also grown on me a lot.
Yes.
We can talk about that, but I wasn't like the biggest fan of his, but he's grown on me.
Yeah.
He's grown on me.
did you ever see The Night Before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
so
really
he's
good in
in
that
that.
movie. Totally.
Yeah.
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 All right, Cam. Lead us off, baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee and Contemplation. This is episode 48. Herman Marquez of the Rockies wears number 48.
Oh, very nice.
He's a very underrated pitcher if anybody follows baseball at all. He was like 6th in Cy Young voting 2 years ago, I believe.
He's also a fantastic batter. I think that's why he's so underrated.
He won the Silver Slugger in the NL for pitchers.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I am Cameron, and with me, as always, Brent. Schaefer.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is April 26th, which means Falcon Winter Soldier is completely over.
It is done.
I don't know if there's going to be a season 2. There's rumors that there is.
So they confirmed that there's not going to be a season 2 of WandaVision.
Yep.
That was one and done. That one seemed a little more bookended than Falcon Winter Soldier does, especially you just showed me the mid-credit scene because I didn't know there was one. I should have assumed, but I didn't know. I'm so new to the Marvel thing.
Yeah. And they did announce probably, I don't know if they announced it, but it's looking like there's going to be a Captain America 4, which will be Sam.
Okay.
As Captain America.
Okay. So maybe then that's where they pick up the story
Yeah, so
of...
maybe there might not be a season 2. That might be like a season 2 of Falcon
Sure,
Winter
this was
Soldier.
kind of the appetizer for the movie. I could see that. Cam, what did you think of the season finale?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think it was a great redemption for John Walker. We can get into his storyline.
Yeah, we'll get into everybody kind of individually.
But like we said last week, the show had a lot of loose ends to wrap up.
Yeah.
And I think they did that really well in the last 15 minutes.
I agree. The show, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it went almost exactly how I expected it to, where big fight scene to start off, because you kind of knew that final clash was going to happen. Halfway through that fight scene, John Walker shows up, which we knew was going to happen as well. And then after all that happens, that's when they wrap up everybody's story individually. So it was kind of like paint by numbers, but it was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
The production value was insane. This, once again, just felt like a Marvel movie.
Yep.
And I love that the shows are throwing out the budgets to have such big, awesome cinematic pieces. It's great.
I mean, it is Disney owned.
Right.
And Disney has 2 of the highest grossing films ever made with Avatar and Endgame.
Yep.
And then on top of the 26 movies that they have and constantly at the top of the box office year in and year out.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but they have that. They have Pixar, dozens of movies that have topped the box office. They have Marvel. They now own Star Wars, which, that whole new trilogy did great. The shows do great. So they're just not hurting for money. Yeah. But it would be so easy, you should know this as a Rockies fan, but to spend as little money as possible to make as much money as possible. But it's good that they're doling out like Mandalorian, WandaVision, and now Falcon Winter Soldier have all had amazing budgets and production value, which is awesome. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. So let's start with the battle scene itself.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? How did it go
So
for you?
I was a little disappointed that we didn't get to see like Sam's reaction to opening the case and finding
Sure.
the suit and everything.
Yeah.
But that suit was awesome.
The suit was awesome. So would you have preferred him, like the whole moment of him like seeing it and putting it on and everything?
And then him flying to New York.
Because yeah, we don't see it until he kind of just lands.
Shows up. You know, you see, you kind of see where it left off with the GRC conference.
Oh yeah,
like,
GRC.
Yeah, we said
by the way,
GDC last
GDC,
week.
the Game Developers Conference. Not that, unfortunately.
It's like something renovation.
Okay, Game Renovation Conference.
Yeah.
Yep, that's got to be it.
But that's what the GRC is, and they were having a conference for a vote to relocate people that were blipped and everything.
Yeah.
And that's why the Flag Smashers wanted to stop that vote, because they were caring more about the people that blipped than the people that were already here.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked the Flag Smashers a lot. Was their motive you can get behind. Wasn't like I hate this group.
Yeah, they had a reasonable cause. They didn't go about it the best way,
Yes.
but and that was mostly Carly's
Yes.
fault. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. But because and it starts with how episode 5 ended with their screens getting like blacked out and static and everything.
Yeah.
And then they're all running away, and that's when you see Sam throw the shield into the room. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so who's fighting who in this battle scene, Cam? Right? We have Sam is fighting
the guy from Winter Soldier. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
The Russian guy.
Yeah, the Russian guy.
Yep. We have John Walker I thought John Walker was going to fight
Carly or
Bucky or Sam or Carly, but he
yeah.
doesn't really fight anybody. He fights Carly for a little bit, but he mostly just fights kind of like henchmen.
Yeah.
In the way, and then he ends up saving.
Yep, that's why I said I kind of liked his redemption.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was kind of unexpected, but I think it just shows that he actually is a good person, and he was just confused.
Yeah,
with all the power he was getting and everything.
There was a comment on something, and it was like John Walker is a great agent / soldier, but not a great hero. And I think he had all that pressure.
That's a great quote. Yeah,
pressure to be a hero. That it all went to his head, and you saw, and we talked about it too in those early episodes when he says, "I am Captain America. Do you know who I am?" and all that.
Yeah.
Don't get in my way. So I think his like label of trying to be a hero got to his head, and then when I think all that pressure of him not being Captain America, really helped him. Like,
definitely.
He made that decision to save those GRC members from the van instead of going after Carly.
Yeah. I think it just allowed him to get out of his own way and be like, okay, now that I'm not this hero anymore, this epic figure, I'm just going to try to be the best person I can be. Which if he had done that originally, he would probably still be Captain America, quote unquote.
Also, his shield was not durable at all.
No, God, it lasted like 30 seconds and it was over.
It took one punch from one of the Flag Smashers to just be dented.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny too. I thought you were going to bring that up because we were talking about, because at the end of last week is when he was making it in the mid-credit scene, and we were like, that thing's just made of like steel. It's not going to do much at all. It looked cool.
Yeah, it looked like the shield.
Looked very cool, but it just did not last.
No.
At all. Yeah. Okay, Cam, I got a question for you, right?
Okay.
Sam kicked a lot of ass in this episode. Bucky kicked a lot of ass in this episode. Both great characters. This is by far the most... I've liked Bucky from the beginning, but after this show, this is the most I've ever liked new Captain America. We'll call him we'll call him Falcon, just to clarify.
Or Sam.
Or Sam, yeah. Who do you got in a 1v1, Cam?
Sam's got all those gadgets.
He does have all those gadgets, but Bucky's got the arm. Bucky...
He is a super soldier.
He is a super soldier. That's exactly what I was going to ask. Yeah, so... And Sam is not.
No.
Right?
He just has all his gadgets. He's kind of like another Iron Man, but not really.
Or like a Batman. Like it's all just gadgets.
Yeah. He's not rich, though.
Sure. Okay, Cam, who you got? And why?
It's tough because they're so similar, because I could say Bucky has more experience in war, but Sam also fought in war.
That's true.
And then
So who you got and
I think I would just pick
why?
Sam because he can fly. He has all his gadgets, and Bucky's kind of
True,
grounded.
he can fly. The fly is a big one.
Mhm.
That's a big addition, and he uses that a lot. He could just pick Bucky up and just drop him.
Yep.
And there's not much
Like
Bucky could do.
The villain from Homecoming,
Vulture.
Vulture.
Yeah.
Vulture does to
Yep.
Peter.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you could just Sam could just be like, all right, Bucky, this is over.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. I picked Sam too. I was gonna pick Bucky. I think I like Bucky more as a character,
Mhm.
but the flying makes it
Yeah.
a little uneven.
And then he's got Red Wing too, which is
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Red Wing's pretty sweet in this episode too. Sam tells Red Wing to go find anybody with flight experience.
Yep.
And finds one of the passengers too.
Theoretically, Cam, if Sam picks Bucky up and drops him a long distance, would the super soldier serum be enough where Bucky wouldn't die from like a big fall like that?
It might.
Yeah.
You kind of see it in this episode actually.
Maybe I pick Bucky.
In that fight, he falls from the I wouldn't call it bleachers, but he falls
Yeah,
from
he
the
does.
parking
That's
garage and
true.
lands on his arm. His arm does help him a lot.
That's true. You just absorb all the damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of tough.
It is very tough.
They're very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good thing they're both on the same side, not
Mhm.
fighting each other
They're coworkers.
yet.
Not
Yeah,
partners.
yeah. We're professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we can get more into the thick of the episode a little bit here. So after the final fight, it's like the way the episode opens. We get the most epic speech ever from the new Captain America. How did you feel about, first of all, Sam being the new Captain America, and secondly, what he had to say about being the new Captain America?
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people didn't like that he brings up race because I don't think it shoves it in your face.
Sure.
I think it shows real world problems, and
Yeah.
that's what Stan Lee was all about. I forget his quote, but he has a quote saying your imagination is just a shell of the reality outside your window, or something like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think maybe the reason people thought it was shoved in their faces, I don't think it was either, but just given the state of everything going on right now, we've heard about Black Lives Matter and all that for so long now that people might be getting sick of it, although this is the first time that Marvel's really like delved into that super hard,
Yeah,
so it's not like it's Marvel's fault
yeah.
that that's happening.
Exactly. Black Panther was probably like the first time that it was kind of brought up, but not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. And it was because Michael B. Jordan's character was all about freeing the black people and all that. But that was even before the whole country, America, had, for those of you not listening, or for those of you listening that don't live in America. But there's the whole Black Lives Matter movement now, and Black Panther was years before that even happened.
2018, it was right before. No, it was 2019. It was right before Infinity War came out. And they also were filming Falcon Winter Soldier at that time because
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman was still alive when they were filming it. So
Yeah, but I didn't think that message was shoved in our face at all. I
No.
actually thought it was amazing for a couple reasons. So we'll skip a little bit ahead in the episode here. So you see Sam don the Captain America uniform, and he's talking about how people are going to look at him bad, but he doesn't care. He's just trying to do
and he can feel the eyes judging him.
right. You can
now.
feel the judgment and people hating. Yeah, exactly. I love too when the guy goes, "That's the Black Falcon," and then the other guy's like, "No, that's Captain America." That was cool. My favorite scene from this entire season finale was when he takes, I don't remember the guy's name unfortunately, but he takes that guy to the museum. Isaiah. He takes Isaiah to the museum and shows him the statue, and he's like, "Now the people of this country will never forget what you did for them." That literally had me tearing up because he starts crying. Oh, it was so good because he was called the Black Falcon. No, he was trying to be Captain America.
He got thrown in jail because he went to the Korean War
Right.
donning the Black America suit, and that was during the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
during the
what was his name though when he was donning that suit?
Nothing.
He didn't have like a
He didn't
name or
have
anything.
no.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why it's like the legend of the Black Captain America is to be forgotten.
Okay, gotcha.
As it grew.
Yeah. So I thought that was an awesome moment when he brought he's like, now they'll never forget. That was really cool. So yeah, I saw some people complaining that they was like very heavy-handed and very political, but I don't think it was really political.
No.
You know, I thought it was a good message. It's hard to have a show that doesn't have messages in it. You know what I mean?
And I think that was one of his biggest messages too. Is he says, "I'm wearing this suit because I know we can do better."
Yeah, Sam, you're talking about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, he's like, you have to do better too, Senator. We have to meet each other halfway was basically his message, which I thought was a great message. So this show is exactly what I wanted it to be. It was fun. It was high production value, a lot of good action scenes, better story than I was expecting, to be honest with you. But if you had to pair this up with WandaVision, which one do you think you enjoyed more?
I think I enjoyed WandaVision more.
Okay.
Just because it was new. Like a newer style.
Yeah.
It was something we haven't seen from the MCU before.
True.
Until the last few episodes.
Yeah, it got a little more...
Yeah, more MCU like. But
like the
first,
last two episodes.
Yeah, first 6 or 7 with the theme songs and the sitcom and just constant mystery around it was really interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. The mystery is a big part for me too. So I think I liked WandaVision better as well. Just because you didn't know what to expect next. With this show, you kind of knew generally where everything was headed. There was some surprises, like you nailed it on the head with what's the girl's name? Who's the power broker?
Sharon.
Sharon. You nailed it on the head that Sharon is the power broker, and we'll get into that. But
actually, I didn't. Brody Float did, and I said
and you took credit for it. Nice, dude.
But I'm giving it back.
Giving it right back, dude. I just thought, like, with WandaVision, the mystery of it, not knowing, like, is Vision alive? Is he dead? Where are they going? What's happening? Who's controlling everything? Was a lot more intriguing than Falcon Winter Soldier. But for just entertainment value, Falcon Winter Soldier was really good.
Yeah, I think it was it fit more of the mold of what MCU has done so well for 12 years.
Yeah. What do you think we can expect from Loki? Do you think we can expect more of a typical Marvel story, or do you think it's going to be more of a different breaking out of that mold?
I think it's going to break out of the mold.
I hope it does.
Think because there's been a few trailers and you still don't really know what's going on. And that's exactly how it was for WandaVision also. Like, you would see the trailers and you're like, I still don't really know what it's going to be about.
Yeah. But like seeing the Falcon Winter Soldier trailer, you'd be like, okay, they're going to team up and they're going to fight a bad guy, bad girl, but you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for Loki just because it could be that mystery, like, okay, what's really going on and what's really at play. So that'd be really cool. So I'd give probably WandaVision like a 9 out of 10, and I'd give Falcon Winter Soldier like a strong 8, probably out of 10. Just a lot of fun.
Also, I know you never really watched Winter Soldier, but there's a scene in Winter Soldier when Nat, Black Widow, uses that like face modifier that Sharon Carter uses in this episode.
Okay.
Do you remember that? When Sam goes, I called in some reinforcements, and a guy walks up, and then she like takes the face off.
I do remember that. Yes.
So for like 0.2 seconds, I thought it was going to be Nat. I was like, are you
oh,
kidding
that
me?
would have been awesome.
Then
Just a huge surprise.
And she's confirmed dead, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's funny because the last couple shows we've covered, Mandalorian, we won't say who if you haven't watched. I mean, we talked about it in the episode, but big cameo in that show. Big cameo, kind of, couple cameos in WandaVision.
Except that one cameo wasn't actually the same guy.
Yeah. And then
Quicksilver.
I was ready for a cameo in this show, but at the same time, I kind of knew in the back of my head that there wasn't going to be a major cameo.
Yeah, I mean,
it just didn't feel like that kind of show.
I mean, Sharon and Zemo were. I mean,
Zemo that's
was
true.
A pretty big
that's
one.
true.
And then
they flipped it on his head because he came in right away as opposed to later in the season.
Yeah, and then
that's
kind
true.
of the Dora Milaje. Ao's kind of a background character compared to Okoye from Black Panther and Infinity War. But still, there were, like you were saying, there was definitely more minor characters from it. So,
yeah, definitely. Maybe not as mind-blowing, but still, the Dora Milaje is a good point, too. I didn't expect them to show up, but that was really cool.
Sorry.
Whoa. Yeah.
But there were people saying if Chadwick Boseman wasn't as sick as he was, because he was going through treatment during the filming.
So he passed away after they were filming this? Okay.
But he was still doing treatment and everything.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
He is. They were saying it could have been him that showed up.
I wonder if they were even planning on that.
I'm not sure, since they were already filming it.
True.
And not a lot of people actually knew from the MCU that he was going through treatment and he was actually sick.
Yeah.
Because that was a big shock to everybody, even celebrities,
Yeah,
that he was
definitely.
going through that.
Yeah. I just wonder if he was part of since there was the Dora Milaje, if before he got sick, they were planning to put him in the show at some point,
Yeah, maybe.
you know? Which would have been, maybe that would have been like the big,
Mhm.
like you get Zemo in the beginning, which is really cool, but like, oh my God, Black Panther's in this?
Mhm.
And maybe he's even in the final fight or something, like that, that would have been cool.
Called in reinforcements.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It's always interesting to wonder about that kind of stuff, like how different The Dark Knight Rises was supposed to be, because they had the whole movie written before Heath Ledger died. Joker was supposed to be a huge part of that movie, so it's always interesting to just hear about what was planned versus what you were able to actually bring to fruition.
Are you gonna watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League?
I was actually talking to Brody about this just a couple days ago, and he highly recommended it.
I highly recommend it too.
But you watched it, the whole 4 hour thing? Here's the thing, I haven't seen any of the DC movies besides Man of Steel. That's the only one I've seen.
I've only seen Man of Steel and Suicide Squad.
I didn't see Suicide Squad, but I did see actually Birds of Prey. I don't know if you can consider that a DC movie.
It is.
It's good.
It is.
I just don't really know if I'd understand what was going on in Justice League.
I didn't, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out.
Because
4 hours is a lot of. That's a long movie.
You watch the Robert De Niro and Al Pacino movie that was like 3.5 hours.
That movie was awesome. Irishman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie was fantastic.
So is Justice League.
The funny thing about Irishman too is I knew sitting down, I was like 3.5 hours. Like you sent me the picture that was like, if you want to make it like a mini series, stop here and stop here and stop here to watch it in 4 sittings. And I was like, okay, let me do that. It's like 45 minutes a sitting. This is perfect. But I sat down to watch it, and the first part where you're supposed to stop is when the movie starts getting really, really good. So I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping here. I think I watched it over 2 sittings, but I just don't know if I'm invested enough in the Justice League movies at all. I am very excited for the new Suicide Squad, though. The new James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
That movie looks awesome. Did you watch the trailer?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it looks really cool.
I do love James Gunn.
Yeah, me too.
Guardians 2 are
It literally
awesome.
looks like Guardians DC. It looks super sick, dude.
Okay.
You should check that trailer out because the movie looks awesome. Maybe I'll check it out though. I don't know.
There are parts in it that I'm like, yeah, this is not good, but
Yeah.
there are some sweet scenes in it.
Yeah, Zack Snyder he's directed some of my favorite movies. He did.
It's also in a 4:3 ratio.
Oh, the whole movie?
Mhm.
Interesting. Is it super noticeable?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Does it
Well, like
bother you?
if that's the screen, the movie's like right there.
Yeah.
And I know you hate black bars.
I don't like black bars at all. I like full screen.
It's a big black
Yeah,
bar.
4:3 ratio is interesting. I wonder if it was something for IMAX.
It might have been.
Yeah, because I know like when you watch like the movie like Interstellar, you can tell the scenes that were shot in IMAX, because they're a little annoying to watch on TV. So I wonder if that was the whole point of Justice League, because it's such an epic movie. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out.
I mean, you could just watch the first one too.
Just Justice League.
Yeah, I forget who directed that one, but that one is.
Or I think it was still Zack Snyder.
No.
I just don't think
That's why it's called the Snyder Cut.
Oh, I just thought it was like a director's cut, and they just called it the Snyder Cut because it was Snyder. Oh, interesting.
He got fired while he was filming.
That's what I was gonna say. Interesting. So I don't know who directed the first one, but Zack Snyder directed 300. I love that movie. He directed The Watchmen. I love that movie, and he directed Man of Steel, and I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was good.
Yep.
I didn't know he got fired. I just thought that there was a lot of studio interference, so they just like kind of rewrote the movie.
Josh Whedon.
Oh, interesting. I thought people loved Josh Whedon.
That's why they called it the Justice League. Now I remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. But that new Suicide Squad movie, I think, is going to be awesome. Okay, so back to Falcon Winter Soldier. Let's talk about Carly and how her story ended in this season finale.
I think more and more in each episode, she just kept falling down deeper and deeper on the wrong path.
Yeah, even in the beginning of this episode, she says something that was, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I was like, ooh, she's kind of evil.
Yeah, because she's
gonna like sacrifice herself and all of her men.
Yeah,
she's like, if we die, we die.
Yeah, and then
if he dies,
he
dies.
But because those three, she even goes one world, and they don't say one people after that because they're like
they're kind of scared of her a little bit. Yeah.
So I think she started kind of losing her followers a little bit with what she was pulling with the GRC.
Yeah.
in that episode. Um, because they didn't want to kill anybody either. And she's like, we need to stop the vote no matter what. And even if we die, we die.
Yeah,
Like,
she was like an at all costs
Mhm.
type of villain.
Yeah.
And her followers were not necessarily that way, except for maybe the Russian guy.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, so what happened to Carly and how do you feel about it?
I mean, she was gonna shoot Sam, but I don't think.
I think she was going to shoot him.
I know she was definitely gonna shoot him, but I don't know if Sharon needed to shoot her to stop it.
Well, I realized right away that Sharon is like kind of a villainous character, even before you find out she's the power broker, because she just, I thought it was kind of funny. It was almost like a comedy because you see Sam and Bucky doing all they can to save even the bad guys. Like Sam saves that one guy, protects him with his wings from the falling debris. And then here comes Sharon, and she just freaking like gasses a guy in the car, and his face like melts off. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like she's just killing everybody. So I was like, oh, she's definitely more of like a morally gray kind of character.
It was also funny because Sam tells Bucky and Sharon like, don't let anybody leave, and then those vans are pulling away, and Sharon just goes, "You had one job, Bucky."
Yeah, definitely. I didn't think she was necessarily going to shoot Carly, but I just knew that she was more of a less restricted villain.
I just don't think she needed to because he had the wings and he had the shield, so he would have been fine.
It kind of looked like he was like, the kind of look that he had in his eyes made me think that he was going to let her shoot him so that she could regret it and learn her lesson.
Maybe.
Does that make sense?
Maybe.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think he was doing that whole thing with like not fighting her. Like he just wanted her to stop.
Yeah, he wanted to be passive about it. Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think he would have, instead of like shooting back at her or anything, he would have just done the little wing thing and the shield thing that we saw him do with the debris.
With the wings and stuff. Yeah. I could see that.
So
yeah.
So that's why like I kind of felt bad that she died, honestly.
I did
that
too.
Carly did. When he's like flying down with her and
something about like arms. Kids dying, even if they're evil, like it kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, he's like flying down on her arm. She's flying down with her in his arms and everything. And then after she gets taken in the ambulance or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's doing his speech. He even talks to the senator, and he says, "This young girl died fighting for your fighting against your beliefs."
Yeah, she. I think he says, "This young girl died trying to stop you."
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Yeah. So it was a very poignant message as well with her death. I didn't think she was going to die.
Yeah.
When we were talking about what was going to happen last week, when we were talking about what was going to happen in the finale, I think we both kind of thought that she was just going to have a change of heart and decide that what she was doing, even though it was for a good cause, the way she was doing it was not good. And we thought that she was going to turn around and be better, and she wasn't, and it ended in a bad path for her. But yeah, kind of sad that she died.
Yeah.
A little sad. But good riddance.
Yeah, so...
But good riddance, Carly.
Also, we didn't talk about this. Who blows up those three of them in the back of the car?
It's Zemo.
No, it's not.
Yeah, 100%.
No, it is not.
Because he's in the
or
jail.
He
has something set up because he's in the jail cell.
That's right. Then it cuts to the old man.
Yeah, so he's in the jail cell.
Okay.
And he's listening to the radio, and they talk about how the car gets blown up. Whoops. They talk about how the car gets blown up, and he just starts smiling to himself and lays down on his bed. So it was totally him. I don't know how.
I think he contacted that old man. I forgot about the old man.
That's true.
It pans over to the old man in the car.
That's true.
And he's like doing Scrabble or something.
I think it just showed that Zemo's still evil, even though he had some good moments in this season. But there's no way he would have like heard that, smiled, and turned the radio off if he didn't plan it. So he definitely planned it and then did it through the old man, which I thought was a cool way to end Zemo's storyline because we didn't know if we were going to see him this week or not. But yeah, he's just calmly reading the book.
That's right. That's something I got wrong. Usually I'm pretty...
What'd you say about Zemo?
I said he was not going to be in this
That's
episode.
true. I thought maybe
also,
he would be.
I thought he was in Wakanda, but he's at the max.
He's in jail.
He's in the max prison called the Raft.
Oh, okay.
Raft.
So it is on a boat.
It's like on a boat, but it's like an island in the sea. That's where they all are at the end of Civil War, like Falcon and all of them.
Okay, gotcha. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, but yeah, so it was definitely him that blew the car. So he's still an evil guy.
Yeah, what's the prison in Spider-Man in the game that he like has to go and fight everybody? That Scorpion and It's not called the Raft, but it's
No,
another like maximum
yeah,
federal prison.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Um,
that was like the gameplay trailer when they announced
yeah,
it.
yeah, but yeah, definitely was Zemo who did that, and it was a cool way to kind of be like, all right, even though he's in prison, he can still make things happen because he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
He's got a lot of connections.
Oh yeah, he does. Cool. So we've talked about basically everybody but Bucky.
Yeah.
How do you feel about where Bucky's story ended? I
was not ready. Well, I guess when he went to talk to the guy, I thought it was going to be a lot longer conversation.
Yeah, you don't even hear him tell him, but you don't even really see the guy's reaction.
You do see him taking a shot in that bar with
Yeah.
that girl he had like his date with.
Yeah, and you can tell that their connection is severed. Like he doesn't want anything to do with Bucky anymore, which was sad. But at least he didn't try to kill Bucky or something stupid like that. But you were right about that conversation happening, not coming full circle. I was a little right. Also, audience, I remember I called my shot last week, and I bounced it off the center field wall for a double. Cam.
Error.
Cam. Okay.
You're on base.
I'm on base,
You're
baby.
on base.
I'm on base, baby. I said he was gonna have the little scene with the therapist, and she was gonna be like, "Oh, you still don't want to talk about it," and then write stuff down in the book. The book comes into play. Therapist comes into play. Bucky just isn't in the room when it happens.
He gives her like a present.
Exactly. Yeah. So
and he says thanks for all your help.
Yep. Exactly. And so I was a little bit right, and I'm on base, and I'll take what I can get at this point.
How about we'll give you a walk based on balls?
Oh, okay, I'll take a base on balls. Did I get intentionally walked because they were afraid I was going to hit a freaking
Yep.
bomb?
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
I love it. I love it. On base percentage, most important stat.
Can Trevor? Did you watch it at all?
Oh yeah,
Trevor's?
I watched the replay.
His
He
bat
crushed
flip,
it. He
too.
knew it right away too,
Ooh.
and he was going crazy. Also, dude, that place looked like it was sold out.
For their minimum fans.
Right,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's cool. Like they're still getting support and stuff. It's not cool. It's not cool at all.
I mean, I love that they're like the players are getting support, but it doesn't help show that the fans are pissed off.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, they're not boycotting. Not boycotting, but yeah, interesting. So okay, so we talked about Bucky. We talked about Sam. Let's talk a little bit more about the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
With Sharon being the power broker, like you said. She gets pardoned by the government, and now she's going to be up to no
Yeah, so
good.
she got her old job back, which was like an agent for S.H.I.E.L.D., but this is the new S.H.I.E.L.D. that is not corrupted by Hydra.
Now it's corrupted by the power broker.
Yeah, definitely. So I think because all these shows are setting up Phase 4, which is looking like it's going to be a pretty dark kind of dark MCU phase. Because they have the Eternals movie. They also have this Shang-Chi movie, which looks like... You watched the trailer, right? The one I sent you on Instagram?
No, I didn't.
You just said it does look cool?
Yeah, because I saw there was a... You know how when you go on YouTube and there's like a 30-second snippet? I saw that, like...
Okay.
So I saw the 30-second cut of it.
But yeah,
Snyder
that looks
cut,
kind
I
of
think
like...
is what they called it. Yeah.
But that looks like it might be a little dark, too.
Yeah. It
but
did look interesting.
But there is going to be Thor 4, which is with the Guardians, so that one might not be...
Was
as
it
dark.
Love and Thunder? Blood and Thunder?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. I can't wait for that movie. Also directed by the guy who made Ragnarok, Sam Watiti, who's a great director. Dude, he's so funny. Yeah, I think that movie's going to be a comedy. That guy even made that Jojo Rabbit movie, which is a movie about Hitler Youth in World War II. Not a funny subject, but that movie's hilarious.
It's with like the two kids too, right?
The two, yeah, there's a couple
Like,
kids in it,
yeah.
but like famous kids.
No.
Oh, you're just talking
No.
about kids. Yeah. It's about two kids, like two best friends, and they're going through a Hitler Youth camp.
I see. So
because they're
it's kinda
loyal
like a
Nazis.
like Boy in Stripes.
Well, yeah, but they're
not really.
no, because they're supportive of Hitler. That's what Hitler Youth is. They're like they want to be Nazis, so they're like going through the ranks to become Nazis. And their mom is Scarlett Johansson, so it kind of ties in that way. But she is not. She's like anti. So she's trying to tell them like you don't need to support this fascist movement. You don't need to do this. Like Hitler's a bad guy. But they're both like brainwashed because they're kids, and Nazi Germany was really good at propaganda. So they're trying to like fight this inner battle. And like I said, it doesn't sound like a funny story, but the way it's directed is hilarious.
Okay.
And Sam Rockwell plays Hitler. And the main little boy has an imaginary version of Hitler as his best friend, and it's Sam Rockwell, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's so funny, dude.
Okay.
But that's the guy who's directing. He directed Ragnarok, and now he's going to direct Love and Thunder. I want to say Blood and Thunder every time for some reason.
But Natalie Portman's coming back too to play She-Thor.
Ooh,
Um,
that's cool. I
so-
love Natalie Portman.
yeah,
That's awesome.
She's his love interest in the first 2 Thor movies.
What's the beginning of Phase 4?
It was WandaVision.
Okay,
WandaVision was the first
which
thing.
movie is the beginning of Phase 4? Is
I
it the
bel-
Black Widow
I-
movie?
I believe. I don't think it's any part. It might be part of Phase 4, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
But I believe it's the first. It might be either Spider-Man or the Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2. Yeah, what's that? It's got a
Multiverse
name.
of Sadness.
Multiverse of
Madness.
Madness. I was like, ooh, it is a dark movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new Doctor Strange.
Wanda's gonna be in it.
Yeah, she is. So yeah, that's what you were saying. Like these kind of mid-credit scenes of these shows or ending credit scenes are setting up the next phase of movies for the MCU,
Yes.
which is exciting.
Then Loki looks like it's gonna be probably tie into, because we haven't really had a tie-in to the new Thor movie, except for like the ending scene of Endgame when he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And that was already a few years ago. So that was 2-3 years ago already.
2019.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago.
So I guess I was right. Infinity War was 2018, which was Black Panther.
Yep.
And then 2019 was Captain Marvel, and then Endgame.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cam, let me ask you one more question, and then we'll wrap up our Falcon Winter Soldier episode. Did you expect to see Steve Rogers in this show at any point?
I did a little bit.
Okay.
I know that Kevin Feige said there's like things in the works that he's been talking with the directors and writers of being able to have Chris Evans revamp his role as Captain America.
Yeah.
But his contract ended with Endgame.
Okay.
So I might have thought maybe a cameo or something from him, but all we saw was like the museum.
Yeah, and you hear his voice in the first episode. I kind of expected to see him, but I'm not disappointed that we didn't, but I was just always kind of playing with that idea in the back of my head. Are we going to see him or not?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we didn't, but not that kind of show.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Cam, so if you had to give Falcon Winter Soldier as a show, let's just say it's this season, there's not going to be a second one, what do you give the show on a scale of 1 to 100?
80.
Okay, so an 8. I was like 83. Yeah, I'd give it a strong 8 as well.
Yeah.
Good
or
show.
Maybe 85, so 8.5.
There you go, 8.5. Yeah, very strong show, very, very entertaining. I'm very excited for Loki because I think that's going to be more of a WandaVision style, interesting, a lot of intrigue. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, Wilson's going to be in it.
Yeah. With the gray hair. Wilson. All right, Cam.
Mustache.
Yeah, dude. When does that show start? You said June...
June 11th.
June 11th. All right, coming up. All right, Cam, you want to lead us out?
Yep. Okay, so... Did I do... Okay. So for our video people, if you've not yet subscribed, you can do so right here. And if you want to watch our most recent episode, you can do so right here. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. It really helps us out. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.